Dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, I would like to start my reflection with a story. You know very well about a philosopher named Kierkegaard. He tells a story, he tells a parable of a theater. When the shows are being shown in the theater, each act is beautiful to see and applauded by audience. Suddenly, the manager appears on the stage apologizing apologizing for the interruption. He announces with his loud voice saying that the theater is on fire. So he asks them to leave the theater immediately without causing a commotion. Then the spectators think that this is the part of the show. So they enjoyed it thoroughly. Then again, the manager comes and implores them to leave the building. At the same time, they thought as well that this is also one of the acts of the show. So, as the fire races through to the whole building, engulfing the fun loving audience with it. So, my dear brothers, today's readings warn us about a similar fate if you're not prepared well when the day of the Lord dawns quite unexpectedly, marking the end of the day. So, we have in front of us a theme of the day of the Lord, or the second coming of Jesus. We have first reading from the book of the prophet Malachi. Malachi, Prophet Malachi foretells this day, giving us the warning that only the Lord knows the future. The last book of the Old Testament, which speaks to a community dealing with corruption, immortality after the Israelites returned from the exile. The text confronts the reality of the divine justice when the wicked are punished and the righteous are rewarded. Today's first reading can be seen as a call to personal, our arrogancy, wrongdoings, and harmful actions have consequences, and justice will prevail over it. In a time where injustice, pride, and immortality are unchecked, but this passage reminds us that all beliefs, all believers should behave properly in order to escape from the wrath of God. We have second reading from the second letter of St. Paul to the Thessalonians. St. Paul addresses to the Thessalonian Christian community where he speaks about the proper behavior and work ethic. Because in Thessalonica, some of the Christians they have dependent on the other for their sustenances. So St. Paul emphasizes that to imitate Christ as well as him, because when he and his co-workers had been there with them, they, they worked day and night for their sustenance, not depending on the believers. So Paul and co-workers set an example for them. So he asked them not to be idle and uh, not to be idle and work for their daily bread. So when we come to the gospel reading, in the gospel reading, Jesus predicts the destruction of the temple. Temple was a center of Jewish worship and national identity, and religious life, which symbolized God's presence among his people. So when people spoke about the beauty of the temple, Jesus says that it is adorned with the all impressive artwork, but this will not be there when the Son of Man comes, because it will be destroyed by the Romans outsiders. So by this, Jesus is teaching us to be just Jesus is teaching us to be faithful as well as to be ready when he comes to judge us. So, my dear brothers, so in this holy mass, let us ask Jesus to be more attached to himself, so that when he comes second time, he should find us in right place.